this whole conversation of making money doing what you love came about because of an email I received. Somebody in my community shared that they have left their job and want to start their own business, and now all this anxiety is coming up, all these fears are coming up, and they're questioning if they can make money doing what they love. And I took that sentence and I said, well, let's talk about it, because I sure have a lot of things to say about it because of my own experience, because of the journey and the path I have been on. For those of you who know nothing about me, I used to be a corporate attorney who had to figure out whether it's possible, whether it's available for me to follow my interest, my desire, my fascination with past life regression, and to allow for that to actually support me financially and pay for my student loans and pay for the rent and pay for everything. In other words, that same question, doing what I love, can it actually support me? And coming from a corporate world, funny enough, I should be wearing a jacket today as I talk about the corporate world. Coming from the corporate world, the world of spirituality was fascinating to me, but also it didn't feel like a clean path. Up until that point, I have been following very clean and settled paths in life. Go to good schools, get the education, get the degrees, then go to a professional school. In my case, that was law school. Then get a job with the best law firm you can find. I did that too. And then just rise in your career, right? I just keep rising up the ladder. And so it was a very clear path. The path of entrepreneurship. Gosh, who came up with that word? Can anybody ever actually say that word without stumbling? Especially if especially if they're not used to saying that word over and over. The path of owning my own business or anybody's business is really a path of creativity. It's path of greater self-ownership, a path of leadership, personal leadership, but also leadership of your customers, of your community. And it's a much more thin edge we walk on, because in a corporate structure we can hide. It's easy to just keep doing what's expected, well, will get the momentum going. With personal businesses, with our own businesses, doing what we love, it's a very different experience, because here we're following the path guided by our soul, not the path set by the corporate executives, by your boss, by the structure that people have created. So it's a very different experience. And so undoubtedly the reward is bigger. No doubt that the personal fulfillment and the personal satisfaction and the wins are bigger than anything, and the lessons are bigger than anything. And 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 it's such a true and authentic and empowered path that everybody who is thinking of doing doing work that they love and making money with that, I'm here sitting and celebrating you and saying, oh, for you to even consider that possibility, you're bigger and more powerful than what you give yourself credit for, because it really takes a lot of the ability to handle a lot of risk, uh, but not so much risk in terms of, will this investment pay off? Risk with your own emotions, risk with dealing with your own fears, your own anxiety. That's why I celebrate this person who emailed me, and I'm just so grateful that they are willing to dance the dance. And this dance is never gonna end, because it's not about figuring out a specific moment in business. It's not about meeting the quarter, meeting the payments for the month. It's about always following the leadership of our soul. And that always grows, that always changes, that always becomes more and more. So I really I really see the wisdom in me sharing with you and conveying to you that following your purpose, which to me is following our soul's guidance, oh, following our purpose is always going to give us the greatest stretches, the greatest enlightenment, the greatest growth, and also the greatest fulfillment, the greatest highs. And the reason why living our purpose is such a, to me, it's literally a path of ascension, if you will. Not that sitting in a monastery or an ashram or devoting our life to exclusively meditating and connecting to the divine is not a path of growth. It sure is. It sure is a path of ascension, undoubtedly. But you know what? Being here and dealing with, oh, but how do I pay for gas? And how do I pay for my kids to go on a vacation this year? Those require such deeper digging and so much more handling the ups and downs that to me, this is a better and more trying path to ascension. So I can only imagine your soul cheering you on from the sidelines and being like, yes, 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 you keep going. And talking about your soul, let's dive into the steps in the process. Just so that you have a perception of how I want to teach uh, this class, this lesson with you, I want to give you a 5-step process. I want to talk about the 5 steps because my most sincere desire is that you figure out the whole money thing, and money does not become the reason why you're not living your purpose, but instead you have it all, living your purpose and making the money that allow you to feel abundant. Each one of us has our own different standard for what that means, so it's how you feel satisfied and accomplished. That's really what we're going for here: meaningful work that leaves you feeling satisfied and accomplished in terms of finances, contribution to the world, and all of that. And so I want to figure it out with you, right? I want to give you what I have learned and what I have practiced for more years than what I can imagine. By now, I have been around the block a million times. I definitely have staying power in this business because I have been doing this for more years than I can think of. So I think it's useful that what I have to share with you. You will learn something important, and then use your imagination to take what I teach you and apply it to yourself. So, this is how it all starts. It all starts with a moment of desire. And this moment of desire applies both to people who are looking to start a new venture in business, but also people who have been doing it for a while. I go through the same steps all the time as I reinvent everything, as I put out a new product, as I feel a new nudge from my soul. So that's why I was saying to you, purpose is not like a degree where you put in the work, you earn the degree, and you're done. You never go back to school. Oh, no, no. Purpose is a practice. Purpose will challenge you. Purpose will ask you to do the work every day with every new nudge and next level in your finances, in your personal expression, in contribution, in everything that you're doing. And so it all starts with a desire. It all starts with you feeling in that special, incredible, mystical moment, because it really feels like a mystical moment. All bonds and limitations all of a sudden fall off. And the only thing we feel, the only thing we experience is us being in that potential, and that potential being reality. It really feels so, hmm, it feels so real in that moment that the seed of what is available and possible for us is planted. It really feels real. We are not thinking practically, we're not thinking logically. Our consciousness takes that leap of faith, if you will, even though it's not a leap at all. It's more like a download, because the soul is in that moment creating, finding an openness that you have created either by being in a chill place, definitely not being stressed out, definitely not being in a fight or flight mode, right? And our soul finds an openness moment and downloads a desire into our heart. And so I really consider that moment to be a, wow, I was gonna say sacred impregnation. I've never used that term before, but gosh darn it, it's definitely that. It's definitely the divine is filling you up with a new opportunity that now needs to grow within you. And here's the funny thing, when women get pregnant, they don't do anything. Obviously, they eat, obviously, they rest, obviously, they rub their bellies with love. But, it's done. It's done. It's done up until they need to do the work of pushing the baby out. But they're not doing anything consciously to actually grow the baby. We cannot, just like I cannot grow my nails. They just do their own thing. So that moment of desire is much like that sacred, I'm loving my new term, sacred impregnation, where we receive something so big and so aligned and so magical that everything within us wakes up and says, yes, yes, I want this. I absolutely want this. And that moment is truly, truly extraordinary, because everything on the outside doesn't exist. There's complete oneness in that moment. Um, in that moment, I'm just in complete oneness with what I desire. And to me, desire is a sacred guidance. It's my soul talking to me. And by now, I have a very solid relationship with my subconscious and with my soul. I know how to listen. I know how to tame my ego. My ego understands that I sit on the shoulders of a giant, meaning my subconscious and my soul, my inner self. And it's very wise for me to know how to work with the giant, because I'm sitting on an enormous power, and we can be friends, we can work together. And so that moment of desire is something special to be paid attention to. So how does desire show up in your life? And I don't mean, oh my god, I should I have another cookie? I really want cheeseburger. Should I have a cheeseburger? Let's, that's not the desire that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that desire where you're literally losing awareness of time and space, and in a moment you're transported in a possibility where life feels like, oh, the up level feels inevitable. I am there. I can feel how good it feels. It's that kind of desire. It's a sacred soul desire. And when that desire comes, it's always a sign that it's available. Not a sign, a guarantee. A better word is a guarantee. You feeling that feeling means that it's there. The quantum field has prepped it. Your soul has already grown to it. Your soul knows that you've got what it takes for you to embody and be it. And you're really able to energetically hold that oneness, right? Like your soul has said, she can do it. Let's do this. Let's do this. She has grown up enough to be able to move forward. She's ready. She's available, right? He's ready. He's available. And so that desire is literally the soul saying it exists in a parallel reality. And that's why it feels so real. That's why the potential and the possibility feels so real. And that revs up our engines to say, okay, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. It feels real. And I want you to notice, what is the feeling that comes with that desire? Is it the feeling of being fulfilled in that moment? Is it satisfied? Is it accomplished? Is it valued? Is it meaning and contribution? Because it's not about what you do. Purpose is not about what you do. Purpose is about how you feel when you do the thing. So that becomes important later when we talk about the steps of getting there, because your mind, once your mind sees that vision of the future, your mind will try to create a plan, and the plan will seem logical, but it's not about the plan. It's about what that potential future allows you to experience as a feeling, as a being, because that's really what you most care about. That's what you most want to focus on and understand. So, when you receive these divine downloads, those moments of sacred impregnation, what does that feel like in your body? Is it a full body chill? Is it just a moment of blissfulness? Is it a big yes? How does that feel in your body? Become aware of it, because that will become your marker. And from there on, you will recognize that feeling in you. You will recognize that awareness of how things are to be, what is to be followed, what is available for you to go forward and follow. So definitely know your own markers, right? Your own moments of like, oh, this is important. This is my soul talking. This is what is right. Now, to me, it always feels like a very clear yes. It's a very clear revelation, and it's a very clear feeling of an open path. It's a full yes. And so that, and then also notice when you have those moments of a full clear yes, when you imagine is the wrong word, when in that moment of a soul download, when you see yourself doing the things you want to do that will bring you the abundance that is also coming with a lot of meaning and fulfillment, what is that about, right? What is that emotional feeling about? So, let's see. For me, it's always such a clear, I get to express and serve. I, I get to contribute. I get to give all of me. It's such a clear feeling of contribution, and also me feeling the fulfillment of, I did it. I did it. I did it, and it felt good. So, what is it that when you imagine yourself doing what you imagine yourself doing, what is the emotion that comes with it? So hold on to that for a moment. And I will come back to this piece in a second. So the first step is to recognize that desire is special, it's important, and you want to treasure it, and you want to come back to it over and over and over. But we'll talk about that later. So just for now, be aware that desire is very clear guidance. It's like the GPS showing you the way of getting there. Even if I make a detour, it's always going to bring me back on path. Even if I choose a different highway, even if I'm 20 minutes late for the appointment, right? For getting there, it's still gonna, the desire is still gonna deliver you where you need to go. So that is important. The next step is actually dealing and handling the moment of oneness and separation, because you had just experienced oneness with your soul. That's why it felt so blissful. Soul guidance always comes with such a clear tonal a oneness, such a clear tonal alignment, such a clear note. It feels so right. It feels so exciting, so joyful, so certain, so clear, so fully present. And how could anything else be interesting? And then the moment we bring in the logical mind, the moment we move out of that delicious, incredible, special, joyful oneness commune, the next thing that comes up is separation, right? We swing from one end right to the other, and we are in separation. We're no longer in oneness with our soul. We're no longer in the dimension of the possibility in the quantum field. We're no longer a match to what our soul was guiding us. We're back to being our human. We're back to the ego now having a big problem. And in this moment of oneness and separation, you will be dancing with that one at least a million times a day, definitely a month, while you're working on the purpose, while you're working on mastering the craft, on bringing to the physical what is it that you want. So that swing from oneness to separation will keep showing up, and we'll have to keep coming back to the oneness with the dream, oneness with the desire, oneness with the commitment, oneness with the sweetness of what we felt possible. And so because we're in separation, this is what happens next, right? We have a problem. Now it's a problem because now I have to do things to get there. An amount of time needs to pass. I need to change. I need to do things differently. I need to convince other people to do things differently. Oh, wait, I heard that if publishing a book will if publishing a book is actually a very good thing, because publishing a book and making it a bestseller, I gotta work hard. I gotta make it a bestseller. That will actually convince people that I know what I'm doing. Oh wait, I gotta get results for people because that will convince more people of how good what I offer is and how valuable it is. I'm thinking of a specific client right now. and and the funny thing is that in separation the brain is thinking of a plan, of a plan, of a plan. What is the plan? What is the plan? What can I offer that will bring the money? What is the plan? What do I do here so that money comes in and more money comes in? And I hope you understand that when we focus on the problem, we get more of the problem because we're not in oneness. We're right there in separation. And so, from a place of distance and space, and I need to get there, we're really running around like chickens without a head. And what is silly saying, but we literally are running around saying, what is it, somebody tell me what to do, somebody tell me what to do. And we drive ourselves further and further away from the ease and the grace that came with that desire. And so desire is not a problem, your desire is a blessing. So but we treat it that way, right? We immediately jump into, okay, well, how do I make this happen? How do I make this happen with all the resources that I have available, but mostly being aware of all the resources I don't have available? So please understand that your desire is not a problem. It's a gift. It's a promise. It's a blessing. It's literally God having chosen you. So if you have a desire for, oh, I don't know, a thriving business, let's say that, and being able to impact a lot of people with your product, which you believe will be absolutely amazing, please understand that that's a gift. Literally, God, your soul, the universe, all that is, has chosen you and said, I want to deliver this through you. Because remember, desire is a sacred impregnation. And so it's actually a gift, not a problem. I had a moment of realizing this and I was like, huh, this is incredible. Oh my God. Well, thank you for seeing me and deeming me worthy of such a big thing. Thank you for seeing and thinking I can do this. Wowza, the blessing of that. Well, thank you. Right? It's a promise. It's a promise. It's a promise, not a problem. And this is where we gotta understand that I don't have I don't have control over the timing of things. I don't have control over how quickly this will show up as an experience. Even when I say that, I'm willing to put a big asterisk and a caveat to all of this because I do have control over it. But the point being is what I'm trying to say here, and then I'll come back to how we can control the timing of things, is to share with you that if the outside is not behaving in ways that I want them to behave, the next step for me in this process, in this path, that I'm teaching you, it's really more of a code. It's more of a formula, a stepped experience, more of a psychic growth and development. So as I recognize the desire within me, and as I look on the outside, and as I see that things are not behaving the way I want them, whether it's circumstances, whether it's opportunities, whether it's people purchasing, whatever it is, this is where I get back to the workshop within my own psyche, within my own heart, within my own soul. And I say, wait a minute, wait a minute. This has always been about the outside being reflective of what's within me. So if I say that everybody's looking for, I don't know, cheap prices, and they are not buying, what do I need to change within me so that the outside is reflected? That's the mistake we make in separation. In the process of separating from the oneness with our desire, we really try to change the outside world. We're thinking, how do I impact? Should I be running Facebook ads? What should I do? Like, should I be selling? Oh, I don't know. Should I be selling $1 things? I don't know. Should I be giving them away for free? What do I do? And hmm. But what is it? Ah, okay. I came back to my own thought. I got distracted because I was thinking of telling you a story, but I was like, oh no, no, let's stay on point with the teachings rather than tell a story. So back to the to what I was saying to you. The only thing we need to change is actually ourselves. There's no changing anybody on the outside. They're only a reflection. They're only an echo of what I feel within me. So, really, the only attitude and adjustment I need to make is my own thoughts and expectations. What is it that I need to change in what I say so that that reflects differently on the outside, so that the reflection gets reflected back to me from people, but it always starts within me. So this is where you need to be very honest with your own self, and this is where you just literally write down and ask yourself, well, what do I tell myself is true about this? Clients are hard to come by. It's hard to make money doing what I love. People don't know who I am. I need more visibility. I don't have enough experience. I don't know what I'm doing. What I offer is not that valuable. People people don't know and don't see the value of this. People are only looking for cheap things. People never invest in themselves. Oh, what else? What else? People only do my free consultation calls, but they never buy. Um, it's gonna take time. Whew, what else do we tell ourselves? You get it, right? You get it. All the things. And they, ooh, listen to this one. They will seem very logical and very reasonable. They will be, but Mira, look at my business. Look at the circumstances of how things are. I am right. This is real. And I'm here to tell you that you're absolutely right. I'm not denying the reality of your experience. But do you want to stay there, or do you want me to help you pull out of there? And if you want to pull out of there, you got to set that to the side and just honestly write down what you're saying to yourself. And honestly recognize that that's the blueprint. Like everything you wrote down, all the objections you wrote down of why you cannot make money doing what you love, mm, that's the blueprint. You said it. You wrote the script. That's how it's going to go every time. So it's not about location. It's not about the kind of business. It's not about the economy. It's not about the partners that you go into business with. It's this blueprint that you wrote down. So now that you have it in front of you, you only got to change yourself. You only have to change yourself. And this is not something you only do at the beginning. This is something you do literally on every moment of growth in your business. So everything that I'm speaking here does not only apply to the beginning of a business, but also every time you're ready to up level, every time you're bumping against something in your business that is holding you back. Um, and so and so once you become clear of what is holding you back, there is only you to change. There is only our attitude we must turn around. So when you actually, what would be supportive of you to say and think when it comes to clients, when it comes to money? It's easy to make money doing what I love. What I offer is valuable. So, of course, I receive value back from clients. I hmm, I remember one of the important things for me when I was working through all that was holding me back of moving away from being a lawyer to doing this kind of work full time was the fear that I I was I really wanted the assurance of clients. I wanted to know that I have clients. And so I was saying to myself that I have a client wait list. That's what I wanted because nobody was knocking on my door. Nobody knew who I am. I wasn't telling anyone either, no wonder they didn't know because I was just so afraid. And so I was soothing my fear by saying, okay, well, if I have a wait list, that means I'm okay. People will pay, the money will keep coming consistently. Well, sure enough, I did manifest a wait list. At a certain point in my work, I had a wait list of 2 years. Lordy, 2 years. Oh God. So of course I can only laugh at that and be like, "Oof, there it is. Of course, we're always capable of manifesting everything that we need and desire. Always, always, always." And then of course I dropped the whole thing. I dropped the whole wait list thing. I dropped the whole fear thing. And so I wasn't needing that assurance anymore. But going back to what is right and what is important to you, what is it that you need to tell yourself is right about doing what you love and about money so that you can soothe the anxiety, so that you can soothe your ego's fears? What is it that you need to hear? Because remember, we lead and our customers follow. I lead and my business reflects that. I lead and money follows. Money is a money, what is a good analogy? Money is an extension of my energy. Money is not an independent, unruly thing. Money is just responding to me, much like the plants in my house. When I water them or don't water them, they respond to that, right? A plant knows how to be a plant, but it's in my world. I am taking care of it. I am interacting with it. So I lead and the plant follows. And so with money, you just want to be a decent enough gardener, right? Like it's just so simple. You lead, money follows. And so what is it that is your biggest, oh, but this is the reason why I'm not making money? And that's what you want to turn around and keep affirming for yourself. But you remember, I was asking you to hold on to the feeling of your desire. When you connect with that soul desire, that moment, what does it give you? The feeling of fulfillment, excitement, satisfaction, creative enthusiasm. What, right? I was asking you to hold on to that feeling because we'll talk about it. So you have to combine your new story, your new narrative with that new feeling. And that's where it all comes back to oneness. Hmm, what a journey, right? Literally a hero journey. The moment of being inspired by some big vision and desire, something that it doesn't feel humanly possible at that moment because it's bigger. It will ask us to transcend our limitations, our bonds, our perceptions of ourselves. And that moment of oneness is so enchanting and so extraordinary. And then we go into separation, which is totally fine. And then our job is to keep coming back to that oneness, keep coming back to that oneness. And what I know for a fact is that it's very, very easy to keep coming back to that oneness by recognizing that the desire exists as a little point in space and time in the quantum field. If you were to pinpoint it on a map, it's there, it's real, it exists. And so you being able to connect with it allows you to be there already. Because what we're speaking here of, what I'm really teaching you, is to go beyond the 3D world of taking time, doing the hard work, and taking a lot of action in order to finally arrive at the promised land, at the dream. What I'm really teaching you here is how to do this the quantum way, how to actually uh, become that state of the desire fulfilled right here, right now. Because here's what's interesting. The quantum experience of, in a moment's notice, me being there and feeling it and being in it. When I talk about it, I mean my desire. I'm there. There's absolutely no doubt about that. It feels as real as possible. Anything else could be real, right? And so, and so it's actually a very clear place. It's a very clear feeling. You didn't tap into it because it doesn't exist. You didn't tap into it because you just imagined it. It's a very clear destination point. And all you gotta do is allow yourself to over and over and over come back to oneness and being in that destination point. So let me make it practical and share a story with you. So yesterday I did a photo shoot, and I am standing in this space where there's all this white around me, right? Like it's just it's a standard space where there's a photographer in front of me. There's these giant big lights pointed at me, and there's just this white background behind me. And I was in a professional studio. I was with a professional photographer, and I'm just, posing there. Now, I have a lot of experience of doing photos. I have a lot of experience with photo shoots. So the men needed to give me very little guidance. I remember the very first time I did a photo shoot, I felt so shy, so embarrassed. I felt so constricted in my own body. Like, how do I move? What do I do? Nah, not the case anymore. Been there, done that. This is easy. This is actually fun. And so yesterday, he is taking all these photos. And then he says to me, "Oh, let me take a picture of you where you can see the lights in front of you so that it's clear that you are in a professional studio. You can post this on your social media." And I was like, "Oh, this is a great idea." And he just stepped back and started taking those photos. And in a split second, I thought of fashion models, because that's what fashion models do. That's what I've seen in images and videos, wherever I've seen him. My memory bank has a very clear visual, a picture of a fashion model striking these gorgeous poses, looking all, confident and sassy, and a photographer taking pictures of them. And in that moment, I connected with that feeling. And literally, I felt the muscles in my body change. My posture changed just a tiny little bit. I felt my expression change. I felt my energy completely change. And I was completely embodying the energy of being a model doing some fashion photo shoot. And I was so struck by the realness of this, by the intensity of this, that I said to the photographer, I said to him, hey, listen, I know I don't need any posture guidance because I do that on my own, but what if you start giving me image guidance? And he laughed at me because I told him the story of what I just experienced. And he laughed at me and he said, okay, now imagine that you're on the red carpet and there's a wall of paparazzi all shouting your name and wanting your picture. And you're about to go in and win an award. And I was like, oh, this man is amazing. And of course, I was having so much fun channeling that idea and moving that way in my body. But now let's apply it to money. So the energy bubble, the place on the map where the frequency and information and emotions and body postures and muscle movement and facial expressions of a model, that's a pin on the map. And I didn't need to do anything in that moment other than energetically connect with it, feel it in my body, and it took over me. It took over me, and it actually made me act differently. It completely took over me. So there is on the map a pin which clearly is the coordinates of a very successful business, money coming in easily and effortlessly, you feeling fulfilled and satisfied, or whatever that feeling of your desire is. That exists. That is real. That is right there on the map. It's a very clear location. It's a very clear dimension. It's a very clear box. It's a very clear level. And you just tap in it, and it takes over. And then you take action from that place. And your action almost, not that you don't have a say, not that you don't have control over it and you can resist it, but it literally takes over. Just like I felt the muscles in my body shift and change. I felt myself channeling a model and being like, oh my God. So everything else that we do in the moment of separation, while we are trying to figure out how to do our desire, because it's a problem we gotta fix and solve, where we're looking around and saying, what's the way? What's the way? Why is this not working out? Why is this not working out? What do I do differently? All of that boils back down to the same answer. Come back to oneness. Tap into the box, into the field, into the pin on the map. I'm imagining a red pin on a map, all right? Tap into that location. Feel the feeling, which you already know what it is. Imagine the success of things, and those new thoughts that you have about the clients, about the money coming in easily and effortlessly, everything being paid off, right? Debt, things like debt and so forth. Those thoughts will help you find the new coordinate, right? They'll help bring you back into oneness. They'll help you come back to that dimension, to that street intersection, if you will, to those coordinates. And then the location, the dream takes over. And that's what we say is manifestation from the level of your soul, from the level of the quantum. Now, just like I didn't stay in that photo studio all day, the work was done, then I left. Obviously, you will leave that place of oneness over and over during the day, but that's okay. You know the coordinates, you know how to get yourself there. I just told you. I hope you noticed. I hope you haven't spaced out already. You know exactly how to use those thoughts, those new proactive positive thoughts, to get you to feel, to get you to imagine. And right then and there, you're just channeling and connecting with the energy of it's done, it's here, it's mine, it's already here. And so that's how you live. And from there on, your muscles move differently. You strike a different pose. You put out a different content. You offer the action follows from that place. It's very easy to make money doing what you love, especially doing what you love. Oh my God. And not only is it easy, but it gets to exponentially grow and grow and grow, because your love for what you do grows and grows and grows. So the money is there, the money is available. I only ask that you use the steps that I gave you to keep coming back to that oneness and to keep doing what I suggested, so that you continue to go through the process, whatever process that needs to be with your soul, so that you actually experience the reality. Because as I was saying to you, when I say process, I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I do know that as you follow these steps, the amount of time will be shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And then, much like an avalanche, it will keep growing faster and faster and faster. So the time shrinks less, 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 and the money grows more and more and more and more. And so it's not about doing more work. It's not even about the work that you do. It's about understanding the coordinates and understanding how to embody those coordinates, because they will take over. They will completely take over that state, that dimension, that desire, if you will, takes over. And you cannot help but be the person who has a successful business. And as you keep going down the timeline of today and tomorrow and the day after, our only job is to keep coming back to oneness, keep coming back to our soul guiding us, keep coming back to the next revelation, the next experience within those coordinates, within that dimension of more of that experience being so embodied, so real. And that's how we actually change ourselves, right? That's how we change ourselves internally. And I want to invite you to apply all of this into, if you want to go deeper with me, you have to join my manifestation circle. The manifestation circle. That's how I call the program, the manifestation circle. My goal with that circle is for us to use the power of a small group to support one another and amplify each other's manifestation, amplify each other's coming back to oneness, coming back to the feeling of the desire being an embodiment, us manifesting a miracle together for each and every one of us as we do it together. So there are 3 manifestation circles: one on health, one on money, abundance, prosperity, purpose, and one on love, manifesting love and relationships. So choose which one circle you want to be in. The reason why I'm guiding it this way is because we're all working towards a common goal, so that energy we amplify is all focused and very specifically laser applied towards a specific goal for all of us. It's not that one of us is working on health and one of us is working on growing our business. No, no, no. We're all there growing our abundance and money, or we're all there to manifest greater sense of being loved and being valued and the relationship of our dreams, or health, vibrant, healthy body, right? And so it's a very focused energy. And I truly believe in the power of 1 + 1 = 7. Two people who are combined through heart coherence, who are in the field of oneness, can collapse time much faster and experiences much faster than a person who is meandering. Oh, today I'm in oneness, today I'm in separation from my desire. Oh, but let me come back to oneness 3 days later, right? There is a momentum that we build together. So even though the price is extremely affordable, oh my God, honestly, it's so affordable for everything that you will receive. None of it is anything other than mastery. It truly feels like I'm bringing you to the next level of my own personal understanding of manifestation, something that I'm beyond excited to guide you through and to work with you. So you have to jump in with me. And so all of this is to really say, you've got this. It's possible. It is available. And I know it like I know it, like I know it, that you're meant to make money doing what you love. You're meant to have it all. You're meant to have not just the money and the purpose, but also the love and the health and the fulfilling work and the time off to be with the people that you love and taking your kids to whatever events will make you all happy. It's all available. It's all meant to be. The only question is, will you lead the world there? Will you lead yourself and thus lead the world to get there? I look forward to welcoming you in the manifestation circle. I love you. Thank you for being with me. And we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.